Right, well, we're kicking today off with what we call a posh coffee. That's because I haven't had a cup of coffee for 3 weeks in the new year, because I've been doing a carnivore diet, so all I've been eating is meat, eggs, fish, and hot water and cold water. So I've lost 16 pounds, and now I'm looking forward to a nice cup of real coffee. So we'll let that stew for 4 minutes, and then we'll give it a whirl. Oh man.
Meadows.
Good?
It's not me, it's you. Nice.
Yeah.
Steady. Right, go on with the day.
It's good. Well, one thing it has meant being on this carnivore diet is we've been making a big hole in the freezer. So after we've had this and Tracy and Jack have had their breakfast, we're going to get in the garage and have a good look in the freezers to see what we've got left.
Need to feed the dogs as well.
After that then. Good dogs.
Like Stephen said, he has made a dent in some of the freezers, but to be quite honest, there is a hell of a lot of stuff left. So we're going through it, getting it organised. We're not going to show you everything, so that would be super boring, but just a quick update on how we did with the pigs that you remember that we sent at the end of August. This is all pork that's left, so effectively this is the pork freezer. We've got all kinds of different bags. It doesn't look very glamorous, but it's organised in terms of so we know what's where. In this bag here, we've got pork mince, then we've got all of the sausage meat here. We've got the leg joints in this bag, I think they're all leg joints. And then we've got the bag full of belly pork slices there, so nice, and if you freeze them flat, it really helps when you're taking them back out. And with the thawing time, we've got small belly pork joints rather than slices there. It's just what works for us as to how we do it. And then we've got 3 bags of shoulder joints, which you can see just behind these bags. You guys might not be able to see them. But this is what one of the leg joints looks like. So it's wrapped in butcher paper and then just put into a freezer bag, just so that we don't get freezer burn. On this freezer here, we've also got some more of the pork that's left. If you might remember, if you saw that video, we actually did skin separately, which is per crackling. So whenever we've got lean meat and we need a little bit of fat on it, you can always add the crackling, which is just absolutely perfect. We're going to go through this freezer next. We probably won't show you what's in that because we think it's mostly lamb and left over from that. But essentially, that's the update on what we've got left from the pigs, which is really going to see us through at least until this year's pigs are ready. So that's really good news. So on top of the pork, that we've got all of the pork put back in the bottom of this freezer, and we've got some individual trays of different sort of items to use it more quickly, so bits and pieces that we've found that aren't pork. Now in this bag here, it's all game, so there's pheasant, pigeon. I don't think there's any rabbit in this one, but we do have rabbit, and we've put all of those in a separate freezer bag for ease of access as well. There's a couple of other whole pheasants that we've got, so I'm going to put those with them, and then we'll start getting through some nice recipes using those up. Right, well that's a really good job done. I'm pleased with that. As I said, this is the pork freezer. The only thing that we don't have this year, and actually a couple of times on previous years, is gammon, because it takes up too many of our joints to meet the needs that we've got for ham essentially. So our kids take a lot of ham and we use it in lots of different things. So we do purchase ham or gammons and then do our own. Now we haven't actually had the need to go and buy meat for at least the last 5 years. We've been here 8 years. It was actually our anniversary just the other day, So we've been here 8 years. Obviously we were getting up and running and learning things in that time, and I think it's 5 or 6 years now since we've had the need to buy any meat, so really pleased with that. This is going to keep us going now. Stephen and I have worked it out for at least 8 months, and that ties in very nicely with when the next pigs will be coming along. We've got a couple of other lambs there that will be going to the freezer in a month or two. We'll talk more about that later. But in this freezer, the only odd thing that we have bought from the supermarket over Christmas, because the kids got asked, what do you want? And they got to choose certain things. There's a few things of that left, just like with the waffles, etc. We do buy in garden peas. We found that to grow your own peas, you literally would need a veg plot, a full-size veg plot for the amount of peas that we go through. So that is one of the vegetables that we buy. Again, the majority of the veg that we eat is raised here on the Smallholding. So this, for example, is just broccoli that we grew last year and froze. We are coming to the end of most of our vegetables though, so this freezer has fruit and veg in it, as well as some of the game that we found, so that's in there as well, and the last of our meat birds from last year. So we're going to work on going through this freezer first, and then obviously this year we are going really big, as we said, hence the veg plot extension, on growing basically all of our own vegetables. Fruit's a little bit more tricky, but all of our own vegetables this year. So if you're interested in that, then join us for that as the year goes on. But for now, I'm going to get these freezers closed. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out, and now we're going to go and head out and get some more jobs done.
Right, just a quick update on the veg plot area. I've just made this gate to stop the chickens getting through. We just need to put a latch on it yet, but this will hold it closed until we get one. So we'll just run you into the new veg extension and show you what we've decided to do over there.
It's really cold out here, really windy, so we're not going to spend too long with the camera because of the wind interference. But quick update on a final decision that we've made. This is the layout that we're going to go for. So we did think about this last time we spoke to you, but we'd left it because we really weren't sure what to do. And we've also made a decision on the wood, because I think we told you last time that the timber that we actually got for free off Marketplace, turns out there's not going to be enough. Even though we thought that there might be too much, there's not going to be enough. So we've made a couple of decisions. Essentially, this area that I'm stood in here is going to be a big square bed, or maybe just slightly off the square, and that's going to be replicated on the other side over there. I think that we're going to be doing the likes of squash and pumpkins in these beds, so things that take up more, need more growing space, shall we say. And then here, where I'm walking into now, this path literally goes right down to where Stephen stood at the moment, so you can see that the path will essentially continue from the original veg plot right into this area here where I'm stood. And then over here we're going to have the 3 beds that we talked about last time. That's going to be long, thin beds. These are about, I think they were 160 or 140 wide. We'll get the measurements next time we talk about this. And I think they are about 4 meters 20 long, 480 long, something like that. So a really good length. And there's going to be one here, then a path, another bed, path, and another bed. Now, one problem that we did have, if you just want to come over here and have a quick look, we decided to build them in decking boards in the end, because we found out we were going to have to purchase something because we didn't have enough of this timber that we got free on Marketplace. We want it all looking exactly the same in this area that we're in. So we've got other plants for this timber, but it turns out when we've actually got this, that we think it's going to be too thin. We plan on putting 2 decking boards on top of each other, but for the length that we're going to be putting them in, they might end up being a little bit spindly and bend a little bit too much. So we'll go in the barn and talk a little bit more about that.
Like Tracy said, we were going to make it the new veg area out of these decking boards, but they're only just over 1 inch thick, which we don't think is going to be thick enough, because we want to put one on top of the other like that to make it like a nice depth inside the bed. But I'm going to have to join them together, and I'm going to have to put more joins in than I'd like. So we picked all this up yesterday, and now I'm going to have to take it all back. The stuff we've been looking at is the alternative to this is going to be twice as thick, the same depth but twice as thick, and it only works out at an extra £30, £35 difference. So I think for the amount of life we're going to get out of the other stuff compared to this, it'll be worth it. So back to the drawing board on Monday. Right, as Tracy said, it's really windy outside, so we just thought we'd come inside and give you a bit of update on our chicken project. So as you might remember, we went for 2 breeds of chicken. The Welsummer, which is this one here, which are prolific egg layers, so these will be predominantly for eggs, and the Rhode Island Reds, which are these deep coloured ones here in the background. Now we've got 3 Rhode Island Red cockerels and 2 Welsummer cockerels, and the rest of them are hens. So that's an ideal amount as long as the cockerels stay alive. So these Welsummers we got mainly for egg production because they're prolific egg layers when they come into lay. They should be coming into lay in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to switch them over into the old chickens pen where all the nest boxes are. We've got 9 nest boxes in there and the chickens only use 2 of them. So we're going to put them old chickens in here. I'll build them a couple of nest boxes and then we'll put these ones all in there. So when they do come into lay, it'll encourage them to go into the boxes and start laying. These are just over 20 weeks old at the minute. So we sat down this morning and we just worked out how much they cost us from buying the chicks with all the feed. We've been keeping a track of all the feed we've been buying for them. And when they come into lay in 2 or 3 weeks time, it works out that cost us about £20 per hen at the minute. And we bought 20, that's with the cost of the hen initially as well. So we bought 24, all 24 survived, all healthy, all fit, all look absolutely perfect. The legs are all lovely, shiny, they're looking great. Rhode Island Reds that we've got, I don't know if you can see in the background there, that this is one of the cockerels and he's already a lot bigger than the hens. So they're going to be our main source of chicken, as in food, for us. So we are going to breed off these as much as we can. We'll probably start in about August time, that's when they'll be about a year old. So that's when we'll be start putting them in the incubator. We also want to maximise the income by selling the chicks, growing them up to the sort of this age point of lay where we'll be able to sell them as like fully grown point of lay hens. We'll also sell fertile eggs and that goes for both. That's the reason why we picked these 2 breeds in general, because of the egg production and the meat production. So hopefully the cost that we've laid out so far to getting to this stage will recoup as the year or the years go on in food, in eggs and in breeding the hens to sell.
We're going to have 5 minutes in the shed because it's really chilly out there. Got another cuppa to warm up. Stephen is off making bird houses for the new area, you know, the area that we've been showing you, not the extension that we've of the beds, the bit next to it where we've put the plum tree, and we're going to be doing the other, well, the chokeberry and the josterberry and all those things. I really hope that those everything that we've replanted, all of the apple trees down the new trellis bit that we've put in, I hope that they all take, because it's replanting. If you haven't seen what we're doing, we've literally dug them up from one area, hopefully while they're dormant at this time of the year in January, and we've replanted them in a slightly different area, and we've got more to go in that we haven't got yet at the moment, so there will be a few things that we're purchasing there anyway. So I'm freezing cold while he's off making the new bird houses. I've come into the shed because something I forgot to mention last week when we were in here is do you remember that I got some of the, what were they called, Aquadulce Super? Aquadulce, I'm not pretty sure how you pronounce that. I've heard people say different, people have said passionately both ways how you pronounce it. And I'd got some, and they're the ones that you've seen in the greenhouse. They're not looking as amazing as I thought they would. And do you remember I said that I was going to get some more just in case, because I've also got some of the Aquadulce Claudia in, and then I realised that I don't want to grow 2 different varieties because they'll cross, and I want to be able to save the seed from them this year. So I'm going to give the Aquadulce Claudia away to anybody that wants them. There's only a few of those plants, and I bought some more of the Aquadulce Super, or Super Aquadulce, I'm not sure again how you say that. So there's 10 seeds in here and I totally forgot about them. I meant to get them in, and I've also got some sweet peas that I didn't get in as well. These are called blueberry. So both of those things I'm going to get in now. I'm going to have a look. I haven't looked at the onions and the leeks that we planted or sowed together last week. The peppers haven't, nothing is showing on the peppers. I think that's 6 days or maybe 7 days now. I can't remember if it was a Saturday or Sunday that I did it. So nothing's happening on the peppers. Fingers crossed they will come through. They're in the kitchen, so they're in the warmest place that I've got available at the minute. And then when I've got these sown, we're going to take them into the greenhouse and we'll have a look at how the seeds are doing, the onion and the leek seeds, see if there's any movement there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit and enjoy a few moments of quiet getting these seeds in with Rodney, though I'm not sure where he's gone. He's off chasing something down a hole at the moment, more than likely. Now I'm pretty sure that I saw Jessie from Plot 37. She put something on Instagram. I haven't watched the vlog, but I'm pretty sure that she said that her broad beans are in the ground now, and she thought that that was a bit late. She'd started them under cover. So obviously mine are still in the greenhouse, and we've got this risk of frost that's now passed. So I'm thinking, do I get them in the ground, because that might make them look a bit healthier, because the root system on them, oh, I got 1 extra. No, I'm supposed to get 10, 3, 6, 9, 13, got 3 extra. Yeah, so the root system that's on them is quite big, so maybe that might make them look a little bit happier. But even if they don't work, which I hope they will, I'm not going to give up on them, then I'm hoping that these guys will look okay. I think the problem that I might have had with the, sorry, just reaching over, the problem that I might have had with the ones in the greenhouse is I think they might have got too hot during the times when, even though it's freezing cold outside, the sun's out a little bit. They're not under heat or anything, but the sun soon warms up through the grass. So we'll see. I might get them planted out. I'm just going to put those 3 extras in here, and I'll leave these 3 end ones empty because I'm not going to fill them with compost, because I've got nothing that I want to go in them just at the moment. I did my maths wrong, didn't I? Rodney's in here watching the other dogs having a barking session over there. 12 broad beans I've got in, not 13. I don't know why I thought 13. Anyway, so that's them all. I've put them in. Let me turn you around. They're there. They're the sweet peas in 3 little pots, and then when they start to come through like the other ones, I'll be able to separate them, to plant them. Haven't been in here in the propagator that Stephen made since last week with you guys, so I'm going to pinch out those sweet peas. Thank you very much for the advice that you gave me on those. Let's see if anything's germinated though as well. I feel a bit nervous. It's quite difficult doing this with one hand. Well, if you me it is. Let's put that down there. Right, nothing's happened. Oh, hang on, is that? No, I don't think it is actually. No, nothing yet. When did you put these in? The 13th, and it's the 19th now. So we will continue checking in on them and reporting back. I'm going to get these sweet peas watered actually, because they're looking a little bit dry, look. And then I'm going to pinch them out down to the second, I think you said the second leaf. Is that right? So down to there. Oh, there's only one come up in this. What was this one? Painted Lady. Oh, you're a bit fussy, aren't you? So I'm going to pinch that out. Is that right? I hope I haven't killed it. And then I'll get the rest done. Those kale are looking really good still. Now I'm going to take in the back greenhouse just quickly, because I don't think I've shown you. This side is looking absolutely fantastic. The kale is coming through, although this one here, I don't know if it's trying to go to seed already. Looks a little bit different on the camera than in real life. I'm going to get it watered because it hasn't been watered for a little while, except you can see here where it's damp. That's because the roof has been leaking. Oh my goodness, look at the difference in the from washing the greenhouse. Can you see the difference in the roof compared to the sides there? We're going to get on and get that finished over the next few weeks. Anyway, so these kale I'm really pleased with. Looking well, that hopefully now that the milder weather might be coming back again, they'll shoot up. We're being watched. 2 of the Welsoners there. Right, and then these are the blueberries which need pruning. Oh look, growth on these guys as well. That's good, at least they've survived. Although this one, maybe there's growth on this, the buds on there. Anyway, what I was going to show you here, can you see the telltale delve? 1, 2, not cats, chickens. They got in and had a feast. So I'm quite pleased it was this side though, because this is the side that I didn't get any extra compost or anything like that. So if they were going to pick a side, I'm glad that they picked this one. There was onions in here as well, which you can see they've just pulled out and scratched out. I'm going to get everything a water, and then we'll just have to figure out what we're going to do on that side. But this side's the one that I'm hoping will continue to flourish. There's onions in here as well. We'll just have to see how things, oh look at the mushroom. We'll just have to see how things get on. Right, sweet peas. Right, I've pinched out most of these now. There's one or two that I might have missed. Some of them are a lot leggier than others, and I don't know how low down, how far down you can pinch before you kill it off basically. So fingers crossed that we've done a good job here. I think there's maybe one or two that I've missed. I'm just getting those now. Anyway, oh, last one. Stop, Tracy. Right, so that's the sweet peas there. I'm going to leave them out because they've been in this obviously heated area for a while now, and I think they should be okay just outside of that, but I'm going to leave the other things in. These kale could probably come out now, but it won't do them any harm. I've taken off all the dead leaves of the kale. These have really rooted, growing really nicely, so I'm really pleased with that. That's another one. These are the overwintered tomatoes, which are not doing too badly at all, considering that we've had like -6, -7, and then we'll just leave these in here to germinate. So I'm going to get these front bits back on to keep the warmth in. And that's probably it for me today. I'll check in with Stephen and we'll be back in the morning to show you what we get up to tomorrow. Rodney? 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 Time to go in? You enjoying yourself there, mister? Hey? Well, we've got another round of winter weather on its way, so from now, which is Sunday morning, right through, I think all week, we've got basically wind and rain warnings, but it is winter at the end of the day. It doesn't look too bad on the camera at the moment, and it actually isn't too bad, it's not that cold, but we're trying to get all of our outside jobs done this morning, so that this afternoon, if we get rained off or whatever it might be, then we can work inside. So we've got quite a few indoor jobs to get done, so I'm just going to get busy doing the usual animal jobs on a morning, and then we'll meet back up. Well, that's them done. Now, if it looks like Lydia, this stable has got a bigger bed or a more comfortable bed, it's because she has. So Lydia is a lot older than Sonic. He just gets one bale in his, and he's a lot smaller than Lydia, probably about half of the actual weight. So she's got a nice deep bed because she is, think of her as an older granny, how a little old granny, that's how she is in horse years. So try and make her as comfortable as possible. So I've taken all of her bed out. Anything that wasn't really dirty has gone into the chickens to scratch around in. Everything else has gone up on the muck heaps there. Those muck heaps are going to be going on the garden in the winter, so it's really important for us to stay on top of those and keep them turned over so that they rot down nicely, ready for the garden in the winter. So everything's ready for them to come in now, and then we can get on with our actual other jobs for the day.
What?
In the gravel. Yeah, perfect.
That's level, isn't it? Good job done. I don't know what Tracy finds so funny.
Wasn't that absolutely fantastic? It made me laugh. Right, well, I'm in the barn, as you can hear. The ducks have just been brought in and put to bed. Well, they came in themselves, wouldn't you? Because it's absolutely blowing a gale out there. The winds have really, really picked up and the rain has started. So I've just been down to the sheep. Let's just move over here because it's either the ducks or the wind. Lighting's terrible, sorry. Yes, I've just been down the bottom of the field there, where the area that the sheep are in at the moment, they don't have the shed for shelter, so I've just opened that gate so they can go into that shed, you know, the one that the chickens used to be in. So if they've got any sense or they want to, they can go in there, sleep for the night. It's got straw and everything in. But for now, I'm finished with the evening chores for the animals. Everybody's safe, fit and well. I've locked everything up, all the hatches are closed. So I think that's about it outside. I really wanted to show you guys something else that I was hoping to get done this weekend, and that is starting off some mushroom spawn. I'm not going to have time to do that now, or at least not from a video perspective. So look out for that on a coming video, and we will see if I'm successful in growing mushrooms. Anyway, that's going to be it for tonight, I think. So please leave us a comment, give us a like. Talk to you very soon. We will be back. Who knows what with next time.